Hi, my name is Raeanna Spahn. I'm an attorney at SQ Law. I practice personal injury, so I help people who are injured. One of the questions I get is, what should I do after an auto accident or collision? Number one, it really depends on what state you're in, the type of injury you have. You might not physically be able to do anything after a collision, depending on how serious the collision is. In that case, hopefully someone will be able to call the medics and you'll be able to be transported to a hospital. Police will also be called. If you are physically able to, I would recommend calling the police. Some people ask whether it's necessary to call the police, and I would recommend to always call the police if there's a collision. Number one, the police will document the scene. They will also track down any witnesses who are there, and they'll get names and numbers, which might be important later. In addition, they may take photos of the scene. If you are able to, I recommend taking photos of the scene, but you might not physically be able to. After that, I would recommend, if you feel any injury, or even if you're uncertain, to go to the emergency room or seek some type of treatment from someone. A lot of the times after a collision, people have their adrenaline is running and they might not necessarily feel super hurt in the incident, maybe just a little bit sore. That later on, a day later, could be something much more serious. So it's always better to be safe than sorry and to seek medical treatment after a collision. In addition, after that, what will happen is, depending on who is at fault, if the other person was at fault, you'd probably open a claim for your either property damage and your bodily injury. In that case, you may want to consider, and I'd recommend hiring an attorney. They'll help you navigate the process. It's fairly complex. The insurance company, dealing with them may be difficult. They may request a recorded statement. An attorney will help you navigate through all that and help you collect all of your medical records and bills and provide a very comprehensive demand to get you the most, a fair compensation for everything that you've suffered to get you back to where you need to be. In addition, it's also important to stay on top of treatment. Sometimes you might be feeling better and get busy with work and kids and school, but it's extremely important to stay on top of all of your doctor's orders, to keep going to physical therapy, keep taking your medicine and doing everything the doctor says, and make sure that you completely end your treatment fully discharged from the doctor. In addition, whatever attorney you hired, it's important to keep them involved and keep them in a loop on how you're doing and how you're feeling and where you're treating. They need to know that information to kind of get an idea, how you're doing, and also too, when to order medical records and when to start the process of potentially resolving the claim.